All right, here we are. Let's let the hands just rest somewhere comfortably on knees or thighs. And it's just kind of nice to bring some conscious awareness in here, right, of how you place your hands with purpose. And I haven't mentioned this in a long time, but often you'll hear when you start a yoga class that you might make a decision to either turn palms up or turn palms down. And that sort of gives you an idea of how you want to work with your energy today. So palms open is a more active, receiving, maybe even energetic kind of start. And the palms down might be a more inwards focus as you move through your practice. Maybe you slow it down a little bit and just really focus in on that inner landscape. So see how you land and bring some attention into your spine as you invite some space. And just as you do this and maybe find some small organic movements, allow yourself to start to connect to the breath. So inviting space in whatever way that means to you here. Just taking a moment to feel it out. And in your next couple of breaths, find the stillness. Allow your breath to come into a natural rhythm where you're not really trying to change it at all. You're just becoming aware of the breath coming in and releasing. Becoming aware of your posture and how that breath moves through your body, in particular, how that breath moves through your spine. Notice if you have any areas that are particularly tense as you turn your attention inwards. If you can identify any of those areas of habitual tension, and then just lightly bring your hands together, and you can find a little bow through the chin to set an intention for your practice this evening. You know, sometimes I offer an intention or sort of guide us into one, but just take these next few moments to set an intention for yourself and why you're here today. Let yourself be in that stillness and that silence, either just giving yourself time for an intention to arise, or just letting that intention sink deeply into your body as you breathe. Now bring your attention to your belly and draw this next breath deep into your belly. And exhale, let it go. Inhale deeply, so you're filling the deepest part of the lungs, the lowest part of the lungs. And then let it go. And we'll find just a little retention in the breath here. So as you inhale, fill up the lungs and hold it in for just a moment before letting it go. We'll do that one more time with a small retention and letting it go. You can let your hands rest again on the thighs or on the legs. And we'll do what's called a box breath to really tune into our breath now. So we're going to inhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and then hold it out for a count of 4. And if at any point this becomes too agitating or it's like making you feel more anxious or anything, just come back to your natural breath. But if it feels okay, we'll look for this pattern and feel each of those 4 parts of the breath: in, the hold, the out, and that space at the bottom. So let's begin with a cleansing breath. We'll inhale through the nose and out through the mouth. Inhale to a count of 4. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. And hold it out, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. And hold it out, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, and hold it out. Inhale, hold, exhale, and hold it out. Inhale, hold, relaxing as you hold. Exhale with control, and hold it out. One more time. Inhale, hold, let it go, and hold it out. Take a nice cleansing breath in, and let it go. Deep breath in, let it go. Fill up the whole belly, fill up the lungs, inhaling, and let it all the way go. Let's bat the eyes open and inhale, reach the arms overhead. Interlace hands at the top and press the palms up, holding the breath in as you reach up. Exhale, press the palms forward and find a cat motion through your spine. Move with the breath. Inhale, lift the palms up. Exhale, round it out. Spine presses back, palms press forward. One more time. Inhale, see if you can lift your chin a little more. Exhale, press it forward, tuck the chin. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, left hand to the mat and right into your side bend. Inhale, open the shoulder and chest. Exhale to reach out through the fingers. Inhale, come through center. Exhale and switch sides. One full breath here. Inhale, open the chest. Reach out through the fingers. Keep your sits bones down. Inhale, arms reach overhead. And then let both arms reach out wide and down to your mat. Interlace hands behind the back, looping the shoulders back and down. Inhale to lift your chest, lift the chin, and breathe here. Release. Inhale, arms come overhead. Gentle twist to the left as you exhale. Hold it here for one breath. Inhale, lifting through the spine. And exhale to gaze over the back shoulder. Try not to force, just breathe into the posture. Inhale, arms through center, take a reach overhead. And exhale to twist the other way. Inhale, spine lifting up. Exhale, gazing back. Inhale, arms reach overhead. And we'll come right over the shins here into tabletop. So as you release, just swing on over the legs and find your tabletop position, spacing out the hands and getting a stretch through the palms and in between each finger. Align the knees. And we'll find a C curve. So let's bump the hips to the right, gaze over to the right, and hold it here for one breath. Nice, full, long breath. Come through center. And switch sides. Bump the hips to the left, gaze to the left for one full breath. One cycle of cow and cat. Release to center. Tuck your toes, lower the belly. Take a full breath in and out. Flatten the feet, round the spine, one full breath in and out as you hold your cat pose. Come into tabletop, tuck your toes, press into the hands to lift your knees just a few inches off the mat for a hovering table. Connect to your breath here as you start to find the strength through the body, that fire starting to get a little stronger. When you feel that fire tonight, when you feel that warmth, consider that transformational quality of this fire, that transformational quality of your yoga practice. Now walk the hands forward and the feet back, coming into your plank pose, and start to pedal the feet here. Just find the length through your body. Arms might start to feel it a little bit here. Really let that fire up. Then pause the movement and come into your downward dog, lifting the hips, anchor into the index finger and the thumb, and take a few more pedals through the heels here. Nice deep breath in and out. You can let the head go here, shaking yes and no, or any other organic movement that feels good to help loosen up the entire body. We'll take a few cycles rolling to plank and then back to downward dog. So as you take your next inhale, roll the spine forward, lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale, lift from your hips, lift from your center, and reach down through the heels. Inhale, roll it forward, plank pose, lengthen the body. Exhale, downward dog. Connected to the length of your breath, so let this last really long as you inhale to plank. Exhale, downward dog. Take a walk to the front of your mat, inhaling, and release in the fold as you exhale at the front. One more breath here. Let it go, ground into your heels. Bend the knees, we'll roll it up to stand. You might take a few breaths here, so move slowly, letting the vertebrae stack one on top of the other. Head and arms are heavy. And eventually, when you do get to the top, you can loop your shoulders back a few times and open up into your Tadasana with the palms open, thighs firming up, a nice long spine that continues through the crown of the head. We're going to start our twisting here, and we'll play with this quite a bit today. So we already did a little gentle twist. We're just going to start to add on to that. So as you inhale, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, twist to the left. So left arm back, right arm forward. Inhale, come through center. And exhale, twist to the right. Do that one more time each way, inhaling through center. And look to smooth it out. No force as you twist here, just take up space. Inhale, center. And exhale to the right. Inhale, come through center with a baby back bend, just lifting the chest a little higher. Exhale, swan dive, fold it all the way down, let the head go. Inhale, flat back, hands come up to shins or thighs. Exhale, refold. You can bend the knees as much as you need. We're going to roll it up on this next one again. So inhale, press into your feet, a little hug in the lower belly as you come up slowly, slowly. Loop the shoulders back, find your Tadasana. Inhale, arms sweep overhead and into our twisting again. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right. One more time each way. Move with your breath. Baby back bend as you come through center. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. This time, reverse swan dive. You can find still a little bend in the knees. Rise all the way up with an inhale. Exhale, Tadasana. Now just one time, twisting each way, and we'll add on. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, baby back bend, ground into your heels. Exhale, swan dive, fold it down. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hands to the mat and step back into your plank pose. Take a nice strong inhale here, pressing through the hands. Exhale, chaturanga, elbows hug the ribs as you lower. Inhale, cobra, go to your extent. Exhale, release the head and press up and back to downward dog. Take a full breath. If you want to find a little movement here, go for it, of course. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, extend the leg. And on this next one, step it all the way through, holding your runner's lunge. Option to bring blocks under the hands or come onto fingertips. And we're going to hold it here for a moment, getting into that strength of the legs and lengthening through the waist and the spine. So lift your lower belly off of the thigh if you can, so you're not collapsing into the hips. You're really pressing into your feet and lengthening through your heel and crown. Connect to your breath here, feeling that breath draw all the way into the lower lungs, right? Filling up that belly, maybe even bringing space into the back. Now anchor into your feet and we'll come into our high crescent lunge. Inhale and hold it here. Shoulder blades glide down the back. See if you can turn your pinky fingers up, inhaling. Exhale, wash the hands down, frame the front foot. Inhale, right arm to the sky to twist. Exhale, right hand comes down, step back to plank, and move through your flow. Connect with your breath and find your really great posture, especially as you come through that chaturanga and up dog or cobra. Making your way into downward dog and connecting with your intention, with your breath, and how all those things come together in your yoga practice. Other side, inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, curl it in underneath. Inhale, three-legged dog. And exhale, step through between the hands. Hold your runner's lunge as you lengthen through the back heel and through the crown of the head. Maybe gaze back at your heel and try to stack it right over your toes. So it really is like you're about to lunge forward, right? You have nice strong legs here, feeling super springy and directing your energy forward. Fill up the lungs with your breath. And then on your next inhale, lift all the way up, crescent lunge. You can find a little bend in that back knee if it helps to lengthen the spine. Breathe, letting shoulder blades draw down the back. And finding that balance for yourself of effort and ease. I say that a lot in practice, but this is where that individuality really comes into play here. What you need in your practice, what was your intention? Do you need to give yourself a little more space through the arms? Do you need to give them a rest? Let yourself make those decisions for yourself and trust yourself. All right, one more breath in. Exhale, sweep the hands down. Into your twist, inhale, left arm lifts up. Exhale, hand to the mat, step back right into your chaturanga. So if you can make that one long exhale, go for it. If you need to take an extra inhale in between, do that as well. The thing is, we just want to connect our movement with our breath. We meet in downward dog and take 3 full breaths. In and out through the nose. Letting lower belly start to sink in and up. Finding that hollow belly. Bend your knees, gaze forward, walk, step, or float to the front of your mat and fold. Move with your breath. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up, reverse swan dive, and exhale, Tadasana. And you keep it flowing. Inhale, arms sweep up into your twist. Exhale to the left. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, baby back bend, maybe a little further as you warm up. Exhale, swan dive, let the head go. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step or hop back into your next flow. Remember, if you're hopping, you want to bend the elbows as you land. Move through your flow and coming back into downward dog. No rush to get there. Each movement has that full breath. Beautiful. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Exhale, knee to right elbow and hold it here. Now dip your right elbow to your right wrist, knee to wrist, and then lift it back up. And we'll do that 2 more times. Lower the knee to the wrist and pick it up. 1 more time, drop it and pick it up. Shoot the right leg all the way back. 3-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, step through between the hands. Right into your crescent lunge. Inhale, arms sweep up. And we'll twist to the right. Right arm back, left arm forward, and hold it here. So this takes a lot of focus to find your balance and coordinate the body. It helps to anchor into the back big toe mound. And you don't have to crank the arms open. So just twist to your extent, looking to open the chest rather than just crank the arms open. Now breathe into that central column. Breathe into your middle. Listen closely. Right hand comes to the back thigh, left thigh. Peaceful revolved lunge. Lift the left arm up. Inhale. As we exhale, left elbow comes to right knee. So we're coming into a revolved lunge, right? Elbow to left knee. Right knee. I'm confused. Hands come together and we end up in our revolved lunge. Beautiful. Really strengthen that back leg, kicking out through the heel. Option to open the arms if it's available, but please don't feel you need to force into that just because it's an option. Breathe. Come through center in a hovering lunge, right? So hands at the heart and hover the chest over the thigh. We're going to transition into extended side angle here. So pop that back heel down, rest your right elbow on the knee, and then open up your left arm. Draw your tailbone down towards your back heel so you don't have the butt jutting out. And then lengthen that top arm, bicep over the ear, and reach to the fingers. Notice your cringing patterns if you get tense when we start to speed it up or go into more elongated poses. Okay, releasing down, frame the front foot, and step back into a 3-legged plank. So option to move through a 3-legged flow here, or you could place that foot down, just move through your regular flow, or of course go straight to downward dog. Beautiful. Other side, inhale, left leg lift. Exhale, knee to elbow, hold it here. Drop the knee towards the left wrist and pick it up. Drop it down. Remember that transformational element. 1 more time, dropping down, pick it up and shoot it back, 3-legged dog. Take your breath in, exhale and step through crescent lunge. Inhale to rise, exhale to twist to the left arm back, right arm forward. Again, focus on the chest moving around, not just the arms. And in your mind's eye, turn your attention into this center pole that runs right through the middle of the head, the heart, down through the center of the pelvis, and find yourself wrapping around that central column. Maybe bring a little smile onto the face, let the body know we're okay here. And then drop that back hand to the thigh. Inhale, right arm lifts up, peace. Transitioning into your revolved lunge, right elbow, left thigh. Bring the palms together and rotate the chest to the left. Elongate through the back heel and crown of your head. Option to open the arms. One more breath. Release, framing the front foot. Plant the hands, stepping back, three-legged plank, moving through your flow. And we'll meet back in time in our downward dog. Lower your knees to the mat and come into child's pose, reaching the arms around the body so that you can cup the heels with your hands. Let the forehead rest on the mat or a block. And let everything slow down here for a moment. Check in with yourself, with your intention. See if the way that you're moving and breathing is aligned with your intention and what you need tonight. And with all the movement of our day, our daily activities, and even in our yoga practice, can you start to appreciate the stillness? To start to shorten the amount of time it takes to drop into that stillness and let yourself be there. We're going to come into rabbit's pose from here. So keep holding on to your heels. We're going to roll onto the crown of the head. Your feet can separate a bit as you roll forward onto the crown, and let the space between the shoulder blades open. Breathe into this rabbit posture. Don't ask me why it's called rabbit, I don't know. Or maybe you do, and you can tell me later. And release the heels down, come back to that child's pose. Release the hands and bring them right on the sides of your ears. And press into the hands, lifting your head up. See these 2 points that your hands make, and we're going to plant our head as like the third point of this triangle. So your hands are 2 points of the triangle, and then you're going to roll forward and plant the crown of your head so it completes that triangle. Now, the important part here, we're moving into a tripod headstand prep. I'm not going to really even cue to go much further than that. But the important part here is we start to press into the hands. So before we even do anything else with the legs, press into your palms and feel your arms start to activate. Feel the muscles of your back start to activate. And you can press and release a few times, just noticing how the press of the hands takes pressure out of the head. And if you feel like you want to go a little further here, you can tuck your toes, press into your hands a lot, hover your knees like we did earlier in that hovering tabletop. Lower the knees, and you can do that again. Press into the hands, lift the knees, let those arms start to shake. And if you really want to go a step further today, I'll give you the option, but you can keep playing with where you're at, to lift those knees up a little higher and maybe plant the knees on the backs of the arms for a low tripod headstand. Please exercise caution and listen to your body. We move slowly into these poses so that we can identify whether we're ready to take the next step, whether that next step is safe. So go slowly, slowly, listen to your body that whole way. Come down at any time. Beautiful. We're going to release into child's pose. So if you haven't already, go ahead and release down, spread the knees wider, and then reach your arms forward. Walk your fingertips forward so your elbows are lifted, and you get a nice stretch through the torso, feeling the grip of your yoga mat under your palms. Nice full yogi breaths, all the way in, all the way out. Come forward into tabletop and make your way into downward dog. Take a step forward or walk to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale to rise any way you'd like, and we'll meet in Tadasana. Take a moment here, connect to your breath, palms open, grounding into your heels and lifting energy up through the thighs, the chest, and the head. Sweep your arms overhead, bring your feet together, and sit back into chair pose. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart, press into the palms so the shoulder blades are drawing together. And take one more breath in, and on the exhale, twist to the left. Catch your elbow on the outside of the knee. Try to keep your knees flush. So as we twist to the left, the tendency is for the right knee to go forward. So to bring it back, just draw that right hip back. Option to open the arms again here into your twist. Gaze can be down, to the side, or maybe up top past the top thumb if you have your arms open. Wherever you're at, make sure you can still breathe fully, completely. If the arms are split, bring the hands back together. We're going to sit all the way down into a side crow position. So sit those hips down, bend your knees, and plant your hands on the side of the hips. So the first part of this is just being able to rotate far enough. We've done a lot of twists today, so maybe you can find the hands directly on the side of the body, but it might be a little less than that, right? So if you're not quite to the side, just practice that twisting today. If you want to take it a step further into your side crow, we're going to use the upper arms as a shelf for the knee and the hip. So planting those hands and start to lean over to the left. You might do that a few times, just transferring your weight into the hands. And then maybe with courage and a little trust, keep your gaze just a little forward, and maybe you hover the feet off the mat as well. It's a lot of pieces coming together here, right? First, we have that twist. So if you don't feel like you've rotated far enough, just breathe into the twist. And if at any point the wrists are tender, just come out of that pose and give them a little circle. All right, wherever you're at, let's bring it to center. Knees go apart, big toes stay together, or the heels stay together. And we'll just walk the hands forward and stretch in between the legs here. Take a nice big breath to fold and release. If you feel any tension building up from working with some new postures today, just take that big breath out through the mouth. Walk the hands back. Coming into a forward fold, so plant those heels, straighten the legs, and let the head go. Breathe your way through this as we transition. Hips lower, arms come overhead, chair pose. Exhaling, hands to heart. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right. Hook the elbow. And move the chest around so that the thumbs and the chest are about in alignment with one another. Option to open those arms. Sitting those hips nice and low. Breathe. Good, lower the hips all the way down, bringing both hands down into the side crow other way. So see if you can walk those hands all the way to the side of your mat. Breathe into the twist first. See how your spine feels. If you go further, start to transition the weight into the hands, leaning in, so it's like the elbows are pressing into the hip and the knee. Right? So those 2 points where you let the body rest on the upper arms. Maybe you play with hovering the feet. Go slowly again, just like in the tripod headstand. Go slowly so that you can really trust your body to give you the feedback in the moment. Know if you're ready for it today or not. Good, let's release from the pose. Come through center. Knees go apart, heels together, and fold down the center. Let that breath ripple through your spine. Let the head relax. Walk the hands back. Knees come together, forward fold. Step your right foot back, and we're going to come into a warrior two here. So we have one more flow, and then we're going to bring it down to our bellies. So cartwheel those arms open and find your warrior two. So we're going to open up the hips here for a moment. Gaze over middle fingers and open through the chest. Straighten the front leg for triangle pose. Thighs drawing up. Reach forward and tilt it down. Option to gaze up past the top thumb. Open your chest. Take up all the space that you can here as you breathe. Peaceful warrior. Bend the knee. Come up and back with that left hand. Warrior two. Exhale. Turn towards the long edge of your mat for a goddess pose in the middle. Turn your heels in, toes out, and squat it down. We're not going to be here for long. We're just transitioning. Inhale, straighten legs and arms. Warrior two to the back of your mat. Straighten the leg, triangle pose. Tilt it down. Drawing shoulder blades together on your back. So see if you can open your chest here by drawing the blades together along the back. Full breath. Peaceful warrior as you release. Inhale. Now cartwheel hands all the way down to the back edge of your mat and lower your left knee into a low lunge. Inhale, arms sweep up, low crescent lunge, just one breath. Exhale, half splits. Press into your right foot. Bring the hands down to the mat and fold over the right shin. Connecting with your breath as you fold. Hips stay level. Walk the hands towards the back edge of your mat, coming to that low crescent or low runner's lunge, and then tuck your back toe, lift the knee, and we're going to walk around long edge of your mat, wide leg forward fold. Pause in the middle here, let the head go. Edges of the feet are parallel. Let the jaw relax, maybe shake out the head, let it go. Walk towards the front edge of your mat, low runner's lunge, drop the back knee and untuck the toe. Just one breath, low crescent lunge, lift it up, maybe even a little back bend here. Exhale, half splits. Stretching with the breath. Walk the hands forward, tuck the back toe, lift the knee, and step back into plank pose. Lower all the way down to the belly any way you'd like. Release the hands to your sides and your right cheek to the mat. Let everything go here, letting the heels splay out and relaxing into the belly. Turn the chin down towards the mat. Interlace hands behind your back and anchor now into the tops of the feet. So you're feeling your toes point behind you, and then draw those knuckles down towards your heels as you lift your chest, roll the shoulders open into a version of locust pose. Release the hands, turn your other cheek to the mat, and pause here. Let the heels splay out. Bring the chin to center. Bend both of your knees and reach for your feet for a bow pose. So you want to try to keep the thighs hip distance apart here. Try not to let the knees splay out. And the first step of this is sort of like coming into locust pose. So as you anchor into your pubic bone in the pelvis, lift your thighs and your chest off the mat. Feel the length in the back of the neck. Feet kicking into the hands. And if you feel like you can go further, it's like pulling back on a bow. Kick into your hands. Feel those arms pulling back, sort of that tension as it pulls. And deep breaths into the belly. Make sure it feels okay for your back. Only go to your extent. Release. Palms come underneath of the forehead, keeping the head in a neutral position this time. Relax into the chest. One more time, coming into our bow pose. Bend the knees, reach back for the feet. Take that first step of hovering the thighs and the chest and letting those shoulders start to open. And then kicking into the hands as you lift up your chest a little higher. Deep breaths into the belly. Maybe you can find a little rock and roll. Don't force the rock and roll. Just breathe deeply, and you might start to notice it naturally starts to happen, a little rock. Release everything down. Hands come under the forehead. Release into crocodile. Rock your hips gently side to side. It's an easy technique to release tension in the lower back, but it also signals to your nervous system that it doesn't need to fight or run away or freeze. It can signal to your entire body that you're safe here. Any sort of that rocking motion has that effect on your nervous system. That's why we tend to naturally rock babies to soothe them. You can pause that rocking and just let yourself release here for a moment. Notice if you can let anything go. You can unclench. How's the jaw? How are the shoulders? How are the hips? So relaxed or heavy here that you can feel the breath pressing into the mat through the chest and the belly. Now bring the hands under the shoulders and gently press yourself up to a tabletop. Let yourself breathe. Now you might want to turn towards the long edge of your mat, and if you have extra pillows or props here, you might use them to support you. We're going to move into a frog pose. So I'm going to show with my bolster just how it can be used as a support, but you don't necessarily need it. It just can help you stay here longer. So the reason we turn sideways is we just want to have that extra cushioning under our knees here. So with frog pose, the ankles stay in alignment with the knees, right? So when the knees move out, the feet move out too. And you'll just start to walk the knees out as far as you can go. If you don't have the bolster, you might just come onto forearms, or even, with hands might be far enough. We'll stay here for a few minutes, letting the body open slowly, slowly. If you have that bolster, you might be able to rest your chest, turning a cheek. And I know that this can be super, super uncomfortable for some of us, maybe all of us tonight. And so we really want to tune into the breath here. Notice how your body responds to this position. Use those nice, long, and slow breaths, signaling to your body that it can release. And I just encourage you to stick with it. I know it can be uncomfortable. You've probably heard me say it before, maybe some of you have. This is one of those postures for me personally, like might even bring up like a feeling of being nauseous, right? Like it can go really deep into that hip opening and through the belly. So do your best to use the tool of your breath to stay calm. Soften through the lower back and low belly. You might notice as you stay here that maybe the body does start to open slowly, slowly, and you could go a little bit lower. Have about 1.5 more minutes here, so stick with it. You've got it. Breathe into the low belly. Let that fire that you've cultivated today transform the emotion. Let that warmth help you transform the tension. What you also might notice is that even though we're focused in the hips, because it can be a quite intense stretch, tension might start to creep up into some other areas. So this is really a whole body posture. Notice if your fists clench or your jaw, and keep signaling to yourself that it's okay to relax here. Maybe you take some of those audible breaths. Okay, we're going to start to move out of the pose slowly, slowly. So if you're on forearms, you might start to come up onto the hands and inch those knees back together. And we're going to come to rest in child's pose. So you can slowly make your way back around. And make a little pillow for your head in child's pose. So you can Overlap your hands and rest the head on the back of the hands. Stay connected to that full, slow, long breath. And gently press into the hands and swing your legs around so you can come down to your back. And hold on to the knees to roll yourself down gently. And when you get to the mat, hug your knees into the chest and take a little rock side to side. We have one more twist this evening. Actually, let's do a bridge pose before we get into our twist. So place those feet down on the mat. And if you'd like, you can make this a restorative bridge. So really release in the low back. Otherwise, just press into your feet, lift your hips up without force. And we'll stay here for about 5 breaths. Option to interlace hands behind the back. And look for that hollow in your belly. So it's like your abdomen creates a little pond or a pool as you exhale. Remembering that pause at the bottom of the breath where we held the breath out in the very beginning, and see if you can find that pause again here. If the hands are interlaced, release the hands, bring the hips down, and draw your right knee in towards the chest. Extend your left leg down the mat, and then bring the right knee across the body into your twist. You can open your right arm into a T, and maybe take the gaze over the right as well. 3 breaths, letting go. Come through center, realign your hips on the mat, bring the left knee in and right leg down. Guide the knee across the body to twist the other way. Adjust your gaze. Let the shoulder blades relax onto the mat. One last twist to wring it all out. See where you can soften here. Bring it back to center and come right into your Shavasana. If you have a hair tie that's in the way, just remove that. Let yourself get really comfy here. Let your arms and legs go wherever they're most comfortable. Maybe you take up a lot of space today, or you bring the hands over the body. And take a big exhale to help settle into your mat, maybe breathing out through the mouth a few times. Getting out any last fidgets. With each breath, drawing the attention inwards, deeper and deeper. Letting the eyes release into the eye sockets, the tongue softening in your mouth, the throat and the jaw relaxed. Maybe letting shoulders get a little heavier and letting that ease wash down your arms. With your next exhale, breathe all the way down the spine and the belly, finding a little pause at the bottom of that breath. Let your next few breaths find the heaviness of the pelvis and the hips. Let the belly become empty with your exhale, finding that pond in the belly. And with your next few exhales, empty the breath all the way down the legs, dumping weight into the heels and letting the toes splay out. On your last few breaths in Shavasana, bring you into a sense of wholeness, to breathe in a way that reaches every single cell of your being. Letting go of any effort, all effort, even in the breath. Letting go of everything else that is not pure awareness. Your understanding of pure awareness or consciousness, it develops in our practice, right? It kind of shifts and changes as we understand who we are and what it means to be still, what it means to let go and become that observer. You don't need to put any pressure on yourself to be perfect in any sort of way here. Just letting yourself observe and let the intelligence of your body and breath take over for a while. In this space, see if you can find a sense of trust of this inner intelligence and wisdom of the body. Begin to gently deepen the breath, connecting to that life force, connecting to that wisdom and intelligence. Try not to take over as you breathe deeply, but connect with that deepest part of yourself, that intelligent, wisest part of yourself. Let the breath deepen. Let the body start to awaken in the toes and the fingers or any other organic way that brings you into this physical space. When you feel ready, you can bend your knees and roll over to your side, gently pressing yourself up to a cross-legged seat. Inviting a gentle spaciousness as you arrive here, staying connected to that effortless breath. And invite this connection to stay with you as you move into the rest of your evening. Bring your hands to your heart, resting thumbs on the sternum. Remind yourself of your intention this evening, or maybe set a new one for the rest of your night. Let's seal it all in, taking our final breath together, breathing in deeply through the nose, and taking a humble bow as you exhale. In gratitude, namaste.